This is TWiT.
So according to the New York Times, the FTC chairman seems to have the votes to approve a settlement. So we don't know what that number will be. Facebook put aside $3 billion, but it could be more, up to $5 billion, they say. One of the biggest issues, according to the Times, is whether to hold Mark Zuckerberg personally liable for future violations.
He's the boss. Why not?
They won't do it. It'll set a precedence, and that's going to be dangerous for corporations.
Corporations may be people, but the presidents, the chairman, the founders, those aren't people.
I mean, it should be, but I don't think they'll do it.
There actually is a little bit of precedent here already. So when the TikTok violation came down, I think, what was it, in March? Maybe March, where they violated the Privacy Protection Act because they were collecting data on people under 13. And two FTC commissioners actually wrote in a letter after that fine came down and said, we think that the people running TikTok should be personally held accountable for this. And they weren't. But the FTC has already said that, we don't want to go down this path where we just find these companies chump change instead of actually holding the executives accountable. And I think, especially in Facebook's case, where you have a super powerful CEO like Zuckerberg, who basically controls the company, even though it's public, I think he's a perfect person to be held personally accountable.
Yeah,
it would be the largest FTC fine ever against a tech company. The biggest they've done up to now was a mere $22.5 million against Google in 2012. $3 billion to $5 billion. I wonder if they even have the votes to do that. I'm thinking that in this current climate, maybe would be hard to do. I don't know.
I wouldn't be surprised.
I see how we're going along as a society where when crap hits the fan, leadership just sort of tucks her tail and run and points at the subordinates. When you're the leader of the pack, you're given directions and guidance and so on and so forth. And with all of that success, it's usually a reflection of your leadership. So when crap goes wrong, why not just stand up for it and say, hey, I hold some responsibility here.
Yep. No, I agree 100%. I mean, they should be more like how the military, they take the responsibility for when a company is successful and they get all the bonuses and greatest
That's
CEO
true.
ever. They put them on Bloomberg magazine with halos over their head.
Yeah.
But then, when stuff goes wrong, all of a sudden they're not personally responsible. And so there really should be this higher level. I'm, skeptical of the last few years, especially the environment, how we've been treating this, though. I agree. Even $3 billion, I'd be surprised. It seems like everything's a letdown. You always hear this could happen, and it's
Right.
always a lot less than that. So,
Right. Facebook's arguing you can't hold Mr. Zuckerberg responsible for the acts of his 35,000 employees, except if you want to be effective in all this, I think holding him responsible might actually work better.
Exactly.
Yeah. I think that's fine in a company not organized like Facebook, where, Zuckerberg has control of the majority of the voting shares. So he is responsible. I think if it was Jeff Bezos, for example, he controls 12% of the company or something.
Right.
He's not the one just making all of the decisions there. Whereas Zuckerberg designed Facebook, that he's basically the dictator of Facebook. So this isn't a democracy.
That was my understanding.
Yeah.
I listen to Kara Swisher a lot, and she seems to think that if something is going to go down, what's her name, Sandberg, she's going to catch a lot of heat.
Sheryl Sandberg, yeah.
Right.
She got the heat for hiring the PR firm that ended up, investigating. I can't remember the deal, but it was nasty. It just shows you, if you let enough time pass, everybody goes, there was that thing. I don't remember. Anyway, it's over now, so.